Yeah, we have a very special guest joining us today. Just a few days ago, 6th grader Lilian Jochmann traveled from Milwaukee to Iowa to answer this question. It's a very important question, too. What is a caucus?
Along the way, she met politicians and even a few familiar faces from NBC, including Matt Lauer and Lester Holt. And Lilian is one of 35 kid reporters from the Scholastic News Kid Press Corp. And she joins us on the yellow couch to chat about her experience. So great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Good for you. That is awesome. That is so cool.
It's so exciting. Okay, so a lot of adults don't even know what the Iowa caucus is about. How do you explain even to kids what it is?
Well, I almost think about it as like the first play of a football game. So basically, it's all been polls lately, and it's like we have no idea like what's happening. And so the Iowa caucus is basically the first time that Iowans get to vote on like the first step on who they want to be presidential nominee. So that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
It is, and I think that's a good analogy because we hear about all the polls. We know what polling places think about, you know, talking to different voters, who's going to win.
Yeah.
But you're right. This is really the first vote, kind of a preliminary vote, so to speak. Okay. One of the other important questions I think that people want to know is why Iowa? Why is the first caucus, the first, if we want to call it, preliminary vote in Iowa? Do you have any sense for that?
I have no idea, honestly. I mean, it's something I've been wondering too, but I mean, it's a good question. Like, Iowa's such a small town, and like Des Moines, small state. Right? Yeah, exactly. So I actually don't know, but it's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty cool. I mean, there's so much stuff that we can go through. You had such amazing experiences. One of them, though, you met Matt Lauer, and you asked him a really interesting question. What did you ask him, and what did he say to you?
Well, I asked him if he had any tips for like a young reporter like me, and he had 3 tips. So the first one is he said you have to listen when you're asking people questions, not just go on to the next question or like be ready with your next question. You have to listen so you can follow up, which I thought was really good advice.
Really good advice. That's what Tiffany and I are hopefully doing right now, is listening to you and not already thinking about what we want to what we want to ask you next. And there you are with Lester Holt. What else did Matt Lauer say? There is Al Roker. That's so cool. What else did he suggest to you as a young reporter?
He said also be curious and read everything you can get your hands on.
Good for you.
So.
Those are awesome. I think those are great tips for someone. Okay, I want to talk about Hillary Clinton, because she had her first rally pre-caucus where you got to see the hype that surrounds politics. What was that like for you?
Well, I had no idea it was going to be so crowded. So I got in there and I was in like the press pen, and so it just started off being like really, it was almost empty, and I mean, you just saw a few people with their signs and like holding up their signs and kind of chanting. But then like in the next hour and a half or something, like it filled up so big, and like it was so crowded and so loud. And I mean, Clinton supporters, they were chanting like, "We believe that she will win." And so it was just like this whole energetic vibe going on in the room. So that was pretty cool.
You know, I think, you know, there's a lot of times you meet people in your life and you're impressed, and there's other times you meet people and sometimes you're a little disappointed. Who were you most impressed by, or who did you think was the most inspiring or nicest person that you met?
Well, I honestly thought that everybody was really, really nice, and like, I mean, they all kind of like gave the impression of like everyone I interviewed made me like feel really calm and, you know, really comfortable, and they were really used to being interviewed, so that kind of made me feel calm too.
It's so cool how you got to see the Today Show. I know you were up at like 4:30 a.m. the day of the caucus, and you met Al Roker, and he showed you with Matt Lauer and Lester Holt, and I know you met Willie Geist too, which is great. And one thing I want to ask you, because this is something journalists always struggle with, is who are you going to vote for? Most journalists won't tell you. But if you could vote, and I realize that you're not old enough, if you could vote, would you tell people how you'd vote?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
You'd keep it private?
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a journalist.
I think you might be. Okay, another thing that I thought was really great about some of the stuff that you wrote is you said something you noticed and took note of, and I think this speaks a lot for how mature you are at your young age, is that you said you noticed other people there from other countries, including China, just taking note about how important it is that we have the right to choose for our leaders.
Yeah.
How did that impact you?
Well, I mean, we met a guy from China who was there, and he had brought his students, and I mean, they were just so awed that like we have this process that we can like vote for people and stuff like that, and so it was just so amazing for them to like be there and see this process, and it made me feel like so lucky that I lived in it. Like, it's something we take for granted all the time, that like we just get to pick our president, but we kind of forget that like it's not everywhere in the world that people get to vote.
Well, and good for you, because we're also critical of politics and candidates and the process, but really it's something in America we should be proud of. Really quick, because we ran out of time, do you know what you would like to do as when you get older as a career?
I want to be a TV anchor.
You do? That's great! Then you have to go to the University of Missouri in Columbia.
Oh, boy, there she goes. There she goes.
You know what? I want you to come back. You met our intern, Trey. Little woot-woot to Trey. You should come back and be our intern.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
That would be great. We'd love to have you. Are your parents here, too? I bet they're really proud.
Yeah, my mom's here.
Your mom's here? I got to meet her.
You're
That's
a pretty impressive young girl.
Thanks.
Keep it up.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, so here's the information, because the group that you're a part of is something we want other people to know about. It's scholastic.com/election, and the name of your group is Scholastic News Kids, right? You're with
Kids Press Corps,
the Kids Press Corps. That's so awesome. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You can stay put for a second.